welcome to the webinar. If you guys can see us well and if you guys can hear us well, please give us a thumbs up. We hope you guys had an amazing week and you are in the perfect weekend mood. But before you guys start partying, we would like to thank all of you for joining us today. By the time all of us joined us, a quick instruction note before we begin with the webinar. We will take about 45 minutes to give you ample amount of use cases around sales, marketing, and customer support industry. In case if you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to post them into the Q&A section right below on the screen. We will try to answer them all, and in case if we fall short of time, we will make sure to reach out to you individually to address them. During the webinar, we will raise some polls for which we would like to encourage active participation during the webinar. Last but not the least, this webinar is being recorded, so feel relaxed on note taking as we are going to share the recording once the webinar is over to you over the email. I suppose we have most of the audiences live now, so let's get started. Let me just share my screen.
Sure, we're expecting customer to join, so yeah.
Can you just confirm if my screen is visible?
Yep, you are visible.
Yeah, and thanks so much. Hello again, fellas. Our topic for the day is capture, qualify, convert, and nurture with Salesmate chats. We are your hosts for today. I'm Avni from Salesmate's product education team, and I'm accompanied by Kamlesh, who is popularly known as Kate. He is a subject matter expert from our customer success team. Wishing you good morning, good afternoon, and good evening as well. We are glad that all of you have taken time out for joining us to the webinar from different corners of the globe. By the end of this webinar, you'll learn everything you need to know around chats, how it works, and how to successfully implement it to meet your needs. I'll hand it over to Kate to help us further with the webinar.
Thank you for that introduction, Abhi. I welcome you all again. So, what exactly is Salesmate? Salesmate is a CRM and a CRM software along with an automation tool. Right? It helps you deliver personalized sales, marketing, and sales experiences. Right? While we try to see how exactly things are in terms of research CRM on your browser, how does it exactly look like? Right? You'll find around 268 or 200 plus odd CRM results. Right? How is Salesmate different from them? Right? So, how do we stand out? We are the best value for money. We are the CRM category leaders, high performers. Also have an iOS and an Android app, right, to help you interact with your customers on the go. We also have a Chrome app, right, which helps you move or interact directly from your Gmail or your Chrome, and are also coming up with Outlook plugin. This helps you work directly out of Outlook itself. So, as I promised, I'll keep it short and sweet. I now hand over to Avni, who will be covering up the major part of the day. That is the new topic, which is an important part of our business life cycle, and it's customer covers customer acquisition to customer service. Avni, over to you.
Thank you so much, Kamlesh. So, we've already got a quick introduction or a quick overview from Kate about what Salesmate is, and now let us see what wonders can Salesmate chats can do. Chats are basically exchange of messages with a purposeful conversation. It helps you in reducing the average waiting time for the customers. It gives you an opportunity to automate the initial chat, helps you with managing your ticket distribution way in advance, and of course, it helps you in boosting the customer satisfaction as well. And in order to maintain timely conversation and provide quick solution, chats and chat GPs are our heroes, right? By this, we'll move to the next slide and look at some of the statistics that can help us in understanding how chat can be more beneficial. It has been a general tendency that people between the age group of 18 to 49 tend to communicate more over chat, especially in B2B and B2C segment. From one of the surveys that we had done before the webinar, we got the quick result that nearly 61% of people prefers to communicate with when you are in the B2B segment, 33% of the consumers in B2C, 2% in B2G, and 5% in non-profit organization. So, in case if you own a B2B or B2C business, Salesmate chat or live chat can help you in managing your business well in advance, right? One of the other surveys that we had done was regarding the chat response time statistics to look at how or what is the average response time for a chat agent to respond over the queries that they have covered the product or services that they have purchased from you. Right? So the fastest response time noted over here in the survey is just 7 seconds. So this can be one of the reasons why live chat can help you in assisting your business.
Yeah, so these are the statistics that Salesmate covers in terms of how when you are actually interacting with your customers, what conversations you're having, right? The conversation boards is what we have, right? Where you will be able to see how exactly the customers are rating you over time, what are the remarks they are giving you with, right? And then you have the things next in terms of how much time is it taking to actually respond first to the customer, like to reply by each team member itself. Those all conversations are right here. Those statistics are available, and then more onto the statistics is who is your leader in terms of how exactly the responses are. And when you see in terms of live chat statistics, that's our next topic where you have how exactly live chat helps you in lead generation. Something I think
it has been observed that live chat can actually be helpful for lead generation as well. So during the survey, we have observed that the customers who had live chat support agent who had communicated with live support chat agent are 82% more likely to place an order, and the satisfaction rate was nearly 92%. So during the survey which we had conducted, it actually gives us a good download that it gives you a good opportunity for lead generation as well, right? So with this, we move to the next slide and look at the sales funnel. So whenever the prospects are in the top and the middle funnel, so they will be basically the unqualified visitors or the prospects. So with live chat, it's giving you an opportunity for answering unknown FAQs raised by your customers, probable customers, and it helps you in improving the service opportunities as well. It gives you product opportunities, like how good you can be with the market for convincing the consumers when they are in the middle of the sales funnel, right? And it also gives you an opportunity to identify the customer's pain points, because live chat agents would be helping their customers out for resolving the questions or queries they have regarding product or services they have purchased from you. And last but not least, it gives you a traffic insight as well, right? So with this, I just go to the chat screen and show how exactly would chat works. Okay. So as you can see, as you click on the chat icon over here, all the chats that has been initiated by the customer will be reflected over here. You can segment those leads on the basis of chats assigned to you, all where you are mentioned or unassigned tabs. It can also be further segmented on the basis of teammates and teams. So these are the chats which are unread by everyone at Patronage. And if we look at the teams, so these are the number of chats which have been picked and unread by the teams that has been allotted. Right? Yeah. So these are the chats that has been assigned to these respective teams. So whenever a new chat is initiated, it could be either from a visitor or a customer, right? So how would you identify whether the chat is from a visitor or a customer? So I'll just give you one of the good examples that I have from a visitor. So this chat has been initiated by a visitor. You can see that there's no name over here. So basically, random name will be picked by Salesmate, and it will allow you to create a new contact if the chat is initiated from a visitor. Well, if the chat is initiated by a customer, so I can see that all the customer details will keep on reflecting on the right of the screen, right? So this is my customer and he or she is trying to connect to me. You can also segment the chats on the basis of newest, oldest, waiting longest, and on the priority basis. In case if you want to give a conversation title, you can give a conversation title to keep the data segmented as to what type of chat or what type of query has this particular customer initiated. The yellow icon that you see over here allows you to mark the chat as priority to keep those customer queries on priority wherever the chats are being resolved. And in case if you want to snooze the conversation whenever you have already taken time out from the customer, say for instance he or she needs help with certain discount or certain offers, and you need an upper level discussion with your teammate or maybe a peer level discussion with your teammate, you can snooze the conversation for a while and it will disappear from the existing list that you see over here. And in case if the issue has been already resolved, you can just close this conversation and close this chat. You can also add an existing contact to the chat. You can download the chat and send it to the customer who has requested for a quick download of whatever conversation that you had with the customer and email it right away from here. Now, the wonderful part about a Salesmate chat is you can add notes over here to keep a quick record of whatever discussion that has happened with the customer, or in case if you want to hand it over to someone else. One other best thing over here is the conversation that you do over the notes section that is in the chat section remains completely personal. So this only remains between you and your teammate, none other else. Okay? And in the reply section, you can add more images, you can add images or important files and important links to make the conversation more interactive and fun-keeping. And while you are keeping a note over here, you can also copy the link to give an exact insight about what exact message you would like to discuss from that chat conversation. I'll just give you a quick example. Say, for example, if I want to discuss this particular question that my customer has requested me, I can just copy this particular link and share it to my teammate, right? So this is how the entire conversation is being maintained. And in case in future date, if you are searching for any of the chat, you can just click here and you can search the chats based on tags that have been assigned to you. That have been assigned to the chat. Contact. The search can also be meant on teams, user. It can be on particular day, or in case if you have ticketing system, conversation ID can also help you in filtering the right chat for you, right? And in any of the chat conversation, if your customer is requesting you for some special requirements, you can tag those conversation and you can note that down and keep their chats segmented once the chat are being once the conversation is done. Now you may have a question: how would you how optimally you will utilize the Salesmate chat, right? So whatever insight that you see over here, say for example, if I'm clicking on the contact, it gives me a quick overview and it gives me quick information about the customer. So before I connect with him or her, it will give me an exact idea to whom I will be connecting. Next, I can also have a look at the contact details over here, whatever deals he or she has been initiated. In case if I've added notes to it, I will even see that. Page views can help me out in just segmenting those leads where the customer is interested into. Say for example, if my customer is coming on and off on my pricing page, so there are chances that he or she may buy my product, right? So depending on the page views that we have, it helps me in understanding the customer queries well in advance before the chat is before the my customer initiates the chat or communicates more. Yeah, it gives me more context whenever I'm communicating with my customer, right? And in case if you have a e-commerce store and if you have integrated it with Salesmate, you can also have a quick insight about the recently viewed products by my customer, recent searches made by him or her, products in cart, and products in wish list. So all these widget data will be actually helping the sales and the marketing team. So what sort of data should be populated on the social media platforms to help my leads for getting more closer leads, right? So this data will be helpful in running automation journeys around the product or services that he or she is interested in. So this is all about the basic chat conversation that one can have. Kamlesh will help us out with automating the chats, right? So it will help you in automating the initial chat conversation that you can have with the customer, right? So over to you, Kamlesh.
Thank you, Ami. So here we saw Ami explaining us all about the chat interface that we have, right? That would be on the user end, you as a user using the system, and how exactly things are, right? When you're actually adding up the BigCommerce plugin, right? So that's a automated plugin that we have. If you have your website on any other platform and would like to integrate that as well, we have events that you can pass the chat script. You can have events on the chat script which you can actually add on and run the automations on as well. So I'll be walking you through the chat journeys or the chatbots as they know popularly. How exactly you can set your system on an auto mode where where you file these emails offline during the offline hours, or while the team is while you want to actually give the team time to pick up those chats and being assigned to the chat agents is where we need to run auto mode. The end user interacting with the bot, and then finally the message being assigned to the user. So let's hop on to the interface where we configure the chat journeys. So here under chats, we have the chat journeys. I'll walk you through some examples that we have in terms of where exactly chat journeys can help you. Chat journeys when it comes to marketing, pre-marketing, can help us in lead capturing. So whenever somebody visits a page, is where I can set up a welcome message. I can capture their contact details. Thank you for that, Ravi. And capture contact details and ask them questions. I can then finally assign it to basis the answer is what I can actually assign it to different owners. I can either assign it to a single owner or a team, or I can further divide it basis whatever their inputs are, and that's how I can equal distribution of my leads, right? Or whatever are coming in from my chats itself. So diving a little bit deep here in terms of other things that you can set up. Okay, this is what we talked about in terms of capturing the information. When do you want to capture it? This is basically when you're starting the journey. This is the just the page visit that they do, or the emails. So while I was talking about a little while back on the other integrations that you can run, this is the event. When you have a store, we have native integration for BigCommerce, but if it's event, that events that you add to your website in terms of, let's say, an e-commerce store, and you add events of people adding things to the cart, or people adding something to the wish list. So if you set those events on add product or lift abandoned cart, so those are things and event spaces which you can actually automate. And before the person is actually leaving your website on exit intent or otherwise, is where you can actually forward the message and keep your conversions high. Right? So you're not letting the customers out of your site while you have these automations or chat journeys easily set up. Yep. Now examples where chat journeys can actually help us. Right? We see a little bit of these triggers and actions that we have here. That is which I'm going to touch base a little bit more to help you understand in different way you can utilize these different use cases. So another example that I would like to take is the customer engagement, where you're starting the journey in terms of on a page, how exactly you want to display things. You want to display a banner, so the banner would be displayed on the right. These are basically good things. It helps you when you actually want to post updates within your software. So yes, the chat plugin can also be on your website, in your softwares, like as we do. You guys are actually interacting with us, the customer success team, through the Salesmate chat itself, right? And whenever we want to post in updates or we want any interactions from you, that's where that's all configured through the chat journeys itself, right? So you must be seeing this banner where we have already put it inside Salesmate. That is right on top. We can actually go to our community section and leave your comments and updates. So that's on the banner. Where do you want to place it? How do you want to place it? Is all with you how exactly you would configure it. So here I have put it on top, I can put it at bottom of my page, I want it inline or I want it floating. So those pretty good settings are available here, or exactly what you want to configure it. Next is another example I would take is in terms of even in terms of surveys that you can set up. Where you're actually taking an example of the SaaS industry itself or any other industry, feedback is important. How exactly the customers are interacting with your tool is important to you. Right? So instead of depending upon a third party, survey tool, is where Salesmate itself, the Salesmate chat journeys itself can help you with the capturing feedback. And basis the feedback is where you can tag your conversations and basis this tags where you can further run any automations that you want. So chat journeys combined with automation journeys actually is kind of an automation on steroids. And as you mentioned, our automation journeys to be, but these would combine are an excellent hit. And this is something that I configure in terms of the chat journeys where I have here instead of the earlier one we had a banner, but here now I'm putting a post when somebody's visiting that specific page. And how was your experience with Salesmate is where I'm putting a message, and with on that post is where I have put in the interactions in terms of these emojis, and whatever the emojis are, whatever the ratings are, you can put these instead of emojis. Emojis are basically good things in terms of how exactly customers will interact easily with it. But you can have numbers 1 to 5, and basis whatever the ratings they are telling you, you can have different messages being displayed to it. Here is where people are saying no, it's not good, the software is not good, is where you actually capturing the best the most important information, how exactly to reach out to them, is where I'm capturing the customer's mobile, where where you're saying yes, I want to be contacted right away, I'm frustrated, please call me right away. So this customer is not being left out, I've captured his mobile, I've taken the message and I've assigned it to my person who actually needs to I can just add after the message, I can simply add and assign it to owner who actually handles my escalations. So when it is shown is where I directly assign it to someone and assign it to a specific owner itself. Right? So it's automatically assigned to the respective owner who handles my escalations. If not that, the person wants to schedule a meeting with us. Right? That's where we are actually redirecting the meeting schedule link. So meeting schedule link opens up with the high priority calendar, and that's where the person can take on time with us, and that's where we can actually solve these queries. So that's a good way of actually directing your feedback, surveys, and other things. We only put in this example earlier, but I'm going to pinpoint it again because it's while you're on the pricing page is where you can actually ask them. That's a basic conversion page where user of the leads are coming in from, or at least with me, the least pricing page is an important page where leads coming from, where you convert leads from. Right, so that's needs to be a little bit more interactive rather than you're asking your customer to actually go and click on contact us page and then filling out that contact us form. Instead, you have a chat pop-up which asks them to interact with you. It becomes more lively, and that's where you capture. Also, it helps you to capture the exact information and assign it to your sales team to actually start working on it right here and there.
Actually, this journey will help us out locating the one and short, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those are the examples that we have in terms of where marketing, sales, support, can interact with these journeys. We automate the entire process, right? And put your entire thing in an automated way. So automation is the way, and that's where chat journeys also help you with this. And now I'll hand it over to Audrey, who will give us a little more insights into how exactly things can be worked out. If you want to configure a similar setup on chats or chat journey, and a little bit more insights on the installation part, and where where you can actually put in these things and run the entire show.
So maybe just going through the basic setup that you have to do for the things that we just discussed right there, like whether it's working with chats or what are the foundations today, the chat journeys. So I'll just walk you quickly through the basic setup that you have to do, and you have to click on the chat settings that you see right here. So with the chat setup, you can set the welcome message for your team and introduce your team. Then set its appearance, like how exactly would you like the header logo, what is the exact background color that you like to choose, the action color, the background pattern. So this basic setup, the settings that we do, it is in the same fashion that it will be shown to your customers. So this is the setup for your customers. How would you like them to see the chat widget that we just installed here?
Yeah, so it can be set up to match your website.
Yeah.
So
it will help you in matching the color code and branding of your website, right? Then to the availability section, you can set your office hours to let your customers know about your business timings and when their conversation can get the response. So you can set the basic availability time and what is the expected response time that your customers will have to wait for getting answers for their queries. In the conversation section, you can decide which conversation should land into your inbox. Within that, you can also include the what messages. So these are the messages that a chat journey will populate what conversation that hits the inbox. So if you want even those messages to populate in your inbox, you can just click this double button on. And would you allow your visitors or the customers to initiate a new conversation? So this setting can be done over here. And in the required details section, you can always go back to the website visitors and ask for the information whenever you are outside office hours, always or never, or the basic information from the customer, it will be like name, email address, and so on. And one of my favorite part there is rating how good or how bad did your customers fare can be captured from the rating section, and you can ask your conversation rating to your visitors or to your contacts, right? So they can share the feedback with the emojis right away from the Salesmate chat. Under My Preferences section, you can customize the look and feel as to how you as an agent would you like to set up the chat widget to work for you. So this is the basic personalization setting for the chat agents. Then comes the assignment preference. So whenever any new chat is picked by the customer agent, would you like to auto-assign it to yourself to initiate the chat, or you would like to keep it unassigned? Can responses are also called macros. I just copied a few of them. Yeah. So can responses are basically macros or saved replies, which will be very helpful to you in answering the repeated questions or repeated queries that you get from your customer. One of the examples that we can take over here is the pricing details. So we get on and off inquiries about pricing, like what is the basic, what are the pricing plans for the basic, enterprise, or the gold, right? So I don't have to remember it every time. I can create a macro auto-can response over here. I can save it and use it every time whenever a chat comes related to the pricing page. I can also segment the canned responses in the basis of different folders. Say, for example, I've created the one for pricing, product inquiries, greetings and follow-ups, and so on. So I can create multiple folders and segment. You can also search the specific canned response that you've created in case you have a long list of them, right? From the security section, it will give you an option to choose if the visitor or the contact should be allowed to upload the attachment via chat or not. So if you keep the double button on, your customers will be able to share or upload the attachments during the chat. And in the trusted domain section, you can set the trusted domains when you want your chat to load. Say, for example, if you have multiple online presence, right? So you can enter those store details or the store URL over here. Apart from those URLs which you have mentioned, it will not appear in the unintended locations, right? So this is the basic setup. Then comes the installation part. So whatever settings that you do, an HTML code will be auto-generated. You have to simply copy that HTML code, and I'll just walk you through the admin panel. Yeah. Whenever you scroll a bit down, so this is my website, and I've just created for you guys. So this is the admin panel, and this is the place where I have to copy and paste this code. Right? As soon as I paste it and save it over here, this is how it will look onto my website. Right? So this is how it will populate. It's one of my e-commerce store that I've created for you. Right? So this is how the basic installation works, and we also have the option for iOS and the Android devices, where you have to just copy the app key, workspace ID, and tenant ID and paste it into the code area that we have. We have the detailed instruction for installation mentioned over here. You may feel free to use this installation instruction. I'll just request Kamlesh to initiate one of the chat and see how would that populate over here. Just initiated one of the chat, and it'll take a few seconds to reflect over here. Just initiate the chat, please. And there you go. So you can see Kamlesh has came. So he has initiated one of the chat from this particular site, and you can see this message has been populated. So I can just reply back. Right. So this is how I'll be responding it to my customers. And the customer will be seeing that populated message, whatever message that you have seen, and the kind of responses that you said from the basic installation part can be picked from here. So these are the folders that you will pick over here, and whatever kind of response that you like to use can be used using a hashtag. Right? I suppose hashtag would be like this kind of response.
Hash basically you just
you have to like type in hash and the template name that you have saved into the installation file. So with this, we come towards the end of the webinar, and we are now open for the Q&A section. Just let us know if you have any questions for the things that we just discussed.
So I believe we have questions.
Yeah.
Is there a documentation for monitoring events to start chat? That's what we had. Yeah. So you can see, how we have set up. You've shared an output itself from a moderator. The way you can actually set up your API networks and get the discussion done.
Yeah.
And in case you have any questions, how exactly this thing would work for your business, feel free to actually reach out to us on chat, or send us an email at support@salesmate.io, and we will be able to help you to understand what exactly use case it is, and help you set up the respective journeys and things otherwise. Feel free to book us a time on our calendars, and we can take things ahead from there.
Yeah. For initiating the chat for our existing customers, in case you want to initiate the chat, you just click on the question mark icon that you see over here just beside your beautiful and handsome logo, or the profile pic that you use for signing up. So you can use this question mark icon and initiate the chat right away. So this is how our chat support ninjas will be helping you out instantly in a few minutes as well, right? So they'll just respond you very quickly. In one of the surveys that we just shared in the presentation, the fastest response within our chat team was nearly 2 seconds, I suppose. So yeah. No, in the presentation, yes, the average standard was 7, but we have support ninjas who really work very, very quickly to respond to the questions that they have, right? So we are still waiting for the questions. In case if you have any, please feel free to post them right in the Q&A session.
We can wait for questions, guys. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening to us today and being a part of the webinar. Okay. Major of the questions that are coming up are how you would, actually interact with the events. Right? So those are actually these codes that you need to actually add to your script, your paid scripts, right, which will capture the information, right? If you are sending, as soon as the person lands onto your website, it's where you start interacting with that script, the information captured in an event, and the basis that even this way actually set up the automation. It's not limited to just there's no limit to where exactly you actually configure it, which type of a CMS platform that you have, right? Be it on your WordPress, or if you have a Shopify website or BigCommerce or any of the platform that you're using, you want to actually add it, and it's available. So, and even if you are using an Android app, or if you have even an iOS app, it's where you actually install this code and capture how exactly things are inside your app. Yeah, on the app as well. If the customer has to interact with you for customer support, it's very really have this Salesmate chat as a tool to interact with you. Is the easiest way to get in touch.
And it's actually best for sales and marketing guys who are hunting out in the market for better services and the products they are into. So it gives them a leverage to stay mobile. So it gives them a complete mobility because we have support to iOS and Android devices. So it's not that they have to stay around the system for 24/7. So it's like you can be on your toes and help your customers out even when you are not around the system, right? So it gives you a complete leverage to be on the system and off the system for providing better customer support, right? So this is one of the best things that I personally like. Right?
You work on the go using the chat tool right on the Salesmate app, but you can actually interact with that. Interact with customers via the mobile app, your mobile app.
And even like whenever a new contact has been created using mobile devices, it also keeps it gives you a complete map ID that from which area or which location has the contact been created, right? So it's really helpful for such industries wherein you need to monitor your sales reps or the subordinates or the supervisors. So from where your team has been working around, right? So it's really helpful.
And we have one more question: can it be used on the ticketing system? Yes, in fact, yes. I believe we just missed that part where you're actually missing the what we will be demo.
Yeah.
How we can just go ahead and show us. So under the chat settings is where we have email forwarding. Right. Yeah. While you actually talk about installation, but yes, this is an email address that you can actually forward to a support inbox or your sales inbox, and all the emails that are coming to your support ID or sales ID will be directly landing up in your chats itself, where it becomes a single inbox for you to handle rather than jumping in or navigating between two inboxes. Everything handled from the chat. The interactions are happening here from chat. If the customers are not there online, or if the customers are needing to you over an email, the response is going back, the transcript is going back to them over an email itself. So it doesn't require a customer to be exactly inside the chat on your website. They can interact with you over an email, and you as a user of Salesmate chat can be just in your chat inbox and interact with them.
Yeah. I suppose Pawan, if I'm pronouncing it correct, it has been answered.
So cool. Yeah. Here we are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we are right in time. And it has been good interaction with you guys. Thank you very much for attending the webinar today.
And
we'll see you.
Happy Friday. Happy weekend, guys.
Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.